And welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne for 2014. Season 8 is almost over. It's a belated clap there. It's kind of slow. But they're warming up. Don't worry about it. We're going to have plenty more action from StarCraft 2, which is going to help them along their way. Sean, so far so good. Some great games, some interesting games, and even, dare I say it, some fun PvP.
Yeah, some pretty good PvPs. Some are ending quite fast, though. These last couple have been quite fast. Usually you see a lot of attacks deflected and the games go longer, but these ones have been quite decisive.
Yes, I don't want to be too mean, but even with Haswab's playing.
Yes, they were short, and Haswab's is known for his long games, yeah.
He is indeed. So we've got the latest results. If you've just joined us, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, a time zone friendly welcome to you. This so far is the... Can someone get that phone? Thank you. This is the bracket so far. These are the results that you have missed. MC coming all the way through the upper bracket after beating Hasselhobbs and Revenge, but then falling 2-0 to Stardust, who is the first person to make it through to the round of 16 tomorrow. The second person that makes it through will come from the lower bracket. As you can see, TLO going out very early on indeed after losing to his fellow German Hasselhobbs 2-0. San beating Hanfi, and then San overcoming Hasselhobbs 2-1 in the end after losing to him in the upper bracket. Are you quite finished there, Sean?
Yeah, I'm listening.
And now we have the last game in the lower bracket for the final place out of the open bracket 1 anyway. Maybe not the two players you would have expected in this lower bracket final, although... No. A mixture of MC, San, Stardust was pretty much where we thought the two would come from.
Yeah, that was the three names that stood out this morning when we looked at the open bracket 1, and well, here they are again. I thought MC would be the first player out, but PvP, especially in a best-of-3 format, can be very, very difficult to play. One mistake, you're down 0-1, and then you have to play remarkable to make that comeback possible, which we actually just saw.
I was going to say, that's exactly what we just saw, because Hasselhoffs picked up that first game. He'd already won the previous... So he was basically 3-0 at that point against San today. He looked unstoppable, and then it just kind of fell apart on him. What went wrong, do you think?
It was on the last map. There was lots of small mistakes throughout all the series, but that last map, he was in a way greedy by not covering all bases and all angles in that per se, because he was meant to have detection at that point. A sentry should have been there. There's just a couple of mistakes that he made, and I'm sure he's obviously feeling it right now, being actually overall 3 wins, 2 losses, but still knocked out by him. But this next one, mistakes cannot be made. MC versus San, this is very, very important.
I was going to ask you, what did you make of MC's upper bracket final game against Stardust? Because that suddenly didn't look like the boss toss that we've seen over the last few months.
No, it was over like instantly, and I was really surprised at that. And San is so surprising when it comes to that, and I was just shocked, really. I didn't think it would be that like that.
Do you think it's more how Stardust played rather than how MC lost the games, though?
Yeah, I have to think like that. Stardust was just in his face from the get-go, and I don't think MC's really used to that kind of style, because that's meant to like be him, but it was the other way around. I think he just got caught by surprise. But if they were to rematch, that's where the fun begins.
Here we go, right? So final place. Now, MC is 1 game away of not making it out of the open bracket, and don't forget, we're talking about the runner-up from 2 weeks ago in Brazil. It's almost unthinkable that he's not going to make this through. But we're also talking about another player who is also doing very well and also played in Aces ROG.
Yeah.
And reached the final and did well. And how could he go out of the open bracket?
San is so good right now. MC's in form. This is a difficult tournament. It's a difficult open bracket. But if you want to be able to win it all, you've got to be able to beat anybody. And this is where it has to be shown, unfortunately, so early on.
Absolutely. Right, it's time for our final game of Open Bracket 1. As I said earlier, don't tune out after this match, though, because Open Bracket 2 is about to start, and we have plenty of games coming from that one as well. We might even see a few Swarm hosts, but only if you're lucky. Time now to go over for our last game in the Open Bracket 1. Here's your commentary team. Take it away, guys.
Well, that Zergling looking to claw at the trophy there, as Mr. Apollo did point out, but it's going to be difficult for the Zergs, as there's not left over in this bracket. We have another Protoss versus Protoss. The Zergs will come later on in the next bracket, and then we have a lovely plethora of Terrans in the groups already. So all races represented, but now we determine which other Protoss is going to advance on Todd. We've done a lot today.
San actually really struggled versus Hazeops. The score is still 3-2 right now in maps for Hazeops versus San, whereas MC beat Hazeops 2-0. So what does that tell us?
That MC's gonna win?
Nope.
What do you mean?
Because PvP is very volatile and there is a lot
Thanks,
of love
Todd.
triangles in it.
Love
It was a
triangles.
trap question, man. You fell for it.
Oh, dear me. Well, okay, thanks very much, Todd. Thanks for the trap. Let's get into game number 1 as we get into this next PvP. The love triangle of San, MC, and Hasuops may continue, but this is already a weird image that I have in my head as we have spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner as our red Protoss. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your Wolves, Flash Wolf San. Worst intro ever! And up to the top left-hand corner, let's see if I can get this one right. Ladies and gents, it's MC.
Bit of stretching here again by MC. Okay, on this map, there is a very real possibility players could go for some early on aggression just because expansion is so popular. Then again, these players have not really been the kind to try and go for like a one-century expansion. I have to say, those PvP, it really feels like has turned into a lot of fireworks. And MC actually going for a standard build, whereas San went for the Gateway 12. So we could be seeing some kind of 3 gates or 4 gate aggression here by San, who maybe thinks...
Wait, was that Gateway even earlier than 12? Because this is
Oh, yeah.
This is pretty darn early here.
Oh, yeah, it might have been 10, man. I was looking at the production tab, actually, and...
Very early.
late, yeah.
Anyway.
You see, he's gonna save chrono boost from now already, so he's gonna have a lot of chrono boost. But we've seen Stardust hold this quite convincingly, and now MC again. He's gonna be quite fortunate to scout this very early on with his probe. First position that he's gonna look for, and when you're the one being the aggressor in this situation, you're never gonna be happy about this happening. So San might change his plan here, but it's very hard to transition out of this.
A guy's name, Monty Pylon, that is one of the best names I have seen in StarCraft, so thank you very much for that tweet. But now...
Why is it one of the best names?
Monty Pylon? Don't know, like... You don't know English comedy, do you?
No.
No, never mind. First I was teaching you language, and now we have...
I know Mr. Bean.
You know Monty Python? Monty Python? You don't
No.
know Monty Python's Flying
No.
Circus? Oh, Todd, there's so much I need to show you. Anyway, so for now we have that Cyber Edits call finishing up for San. Nice and early. But again, as
Yeah.
you said, this has already been spotted by MC. He got
Yes.
fortunate with that scout.
And what MC needs to do, I think, is get some sentries out. Because he has 2 gases, if he starts a sentry and the Mothership Core immediately, he's going to be able to continuously force field the ramp up until he has a photon overcharge. In which case, on this map, you basically reach the middle of the map, or not that far, but your entire main.
Yeah.
So you're going to be super safe against anything like that. But MC, instead, he chooses to go for the Stalker anyway. Because he has identified this and he knows he's going to be able to spend the chrono boost in what he needs to spend it, which in this case is going to be the Warp Gate. He
All right.
feels confident enough to get the Stalker instead of a sentry.
This is interesting because MC, he knows absolutely everything that's going on San's side of things, and it's normally MC that likes to go for 3-gate aggression. Now we're going to see how he's able to deal with it on his side of the map. Oh, that Zealot spotted that pylon just on the edge of his vision. Really keen eyes here by MC. Great detection skills.
He's going to get a cancel, but actually this might be the cue for that probe to get inside of the... Ooh, San can
Oh no.
change his mind. And he's going to throw down the pylon a little bit further away.
Yeah, he just ran out of vision, so he can throw that down, but it's going to be slightly delayed. Those 2 gateways just about to finish up. One Stalker, oh, he had to walk all the way around. We thought he may have been stuck there in the back of that mineral line, but he does get out. And now we have 2 more gateways.
Warp Gate finishing now, and actually the pylon is so far. This is similar to what we saw when Stardust
Yeah, I don't
held
think this
versus
works.
MC. I think this is not going to work here, surely. Double extra gateways on the way for MC here, and yeah, this just looks so bad right now for San.
It's so far, Photon Overcharge can buy him time, so he can get his warp gates up and running. And
Actually, he has to be
positioned.
careful here.
Ooh, okay, so Photon Overcharge finishes now, he can't get that, and the Stalker's going to micro-arm back. So this isn't going to work out for San too well, especially since the warp gates have just finished up for MC, and he's even getting a sentry, so one force field on that ramp is going to shut this down for quite a while.
Yeah, and by not work out well, you mean not work out at all? Oh, there is a sentry! Oh, he's going to try up a single Stalker. He could have gone for 2 or
I got
3,
a
I
Zealot
think.
too, but yeah, you're right, he could have got a little bit more.
Who cares about the Zealot, man? nobody cares.
You don't like the Zealots, it's just all about the Stalkers.
Yeah, they are not costly units here. Killing the Stalkers is really what's important. Actually, MC misclicking one of his probes here in one of his assimilators. So only mining 2+3 right now, but still a great economic lead. 24 probes to 21. This is still the biggest of leads.
Yeah, great start for the boss
this
toss.
stage.
As he already sets himself up a great concave. Threatened about a pylon on the very edge of this as well. His opponent, San, doesn't have his mothership core with this army, so he doesn't really have any high ground vision.
And San, he went for a lockdown here. Oh, he's gonna get the mothership core. Oh no, he does not.
Wait a minute, he doesn't have a mothership core. Oh, that force field there. San actually warping in a sentry to help this out and isolating some of these units.
Too many of them went down the ramp, and no Guardian Shield is being used. MC has the pylon finishing at this ramp. He's gonna warp in Zealots down there and move down the ramp with his Stalkers. He's gonna chase down that sentry for sure. He shouldn't be able to get the Stalkers. Could get the Zealot as well. And San is in a lot of trouble. Missing that force field, man.
And the thing is that San, during all of this time, didn't have a mothership core, so he doesn't have any energy for something if his opponent was to get aggressive off the back of this. But now, well, MC, I mean, he has options. He could expand and just take a further lead, or he could kind of get aggressive, but...
He could use his boss units to end it.
Yeah.
Okay, the Stalkers.
And as I say, man, there's no mothership core here for San. I think he's really overlooked this. Because if aggression were to come, he would absolutely need that mothership core to help out. Oh, well.
There was only one sentry available. I was gonna say you should try and make most of these, but I guess that's not really what I had pictured.
All right, well, the mothership core now starts for San, but even if MC marched across the map, it still would be difficult because it wouldn't have energy.
San tried to sneak a probe into the MC's natural to try and see if MC was taking it. Sadly, this was picked off, so San right now, he has no idea if MC is expanding or not. MC, I think he was definitely thinking about attacking now, but when you play against somebody who does something like what San just did and then you hold, there is always this doubt in the back of your head that he could go for something crazy, like either a very quick Oracle or Dark Templars. In which case, if MC does not get detection and he leaves his base because he has no information, he could lose the game right away. You see, he hasn't seen his opponent's main for a very long time, so right now he's sending a probe across the map, trying to see if his opponent's expanding, and I think he's going to wait until he has a hallucination to get a perfect scout.
If this one Stalker can deny that from actually seeing the Nexus, that would be fantastic for him, and it does. So.
Well, it's not that important, because MC, all he wanted to make sure about that is that he's not being cheesed by either an Oracle or DTs. In this case, he made an Observer now, so he's safe. He's walled off his ramp, he has his units close enough to his mineral line plus the photon overcharge ready. So essentially he's getting the Robo Bay now. And if he goes for a timing with say like 1 or 2 Immortal and 1 Colossus or even more, I just don't see how San could hold. It's going to be almost impossible.
It's going to be very difficult. Did he send the Hallucinated Phoenix? Yes, he did. So he's going to get confirmation that there is that Nexus there, which is at least something nice here for San, but also the Nexus is revealed as well. And that Observer has to get him out of there, otherwise he might get sniped out. So San was looking for that.
MC actually spotted it very nicely here, that there was the Observer of San and pulled back. If he had just checked a little bit later, then this would have been picked off, and in which case you never want to play without information. Information is really everything. Like, if you could play with the entire map revealed in PvP, I don't think you will ever lose.
Now,
except maybe if you played Elfie, because he doesn't care.
Is there any specific reason he isn't actually taking his gas at his natural as MC? Or is he just
he's really delayed this. Maybe he's afraid of some kind of one-base timing. Maybe he's going to throw down extra gateways and go for a timing, but he should definitely at least make them. Like, they are not that expensive to make. You see he's getting Zealots right now. But he's still making probes, so it doesn't make much sense. He's going to take them down just a little bit late. And he's actually kind of let San get back into this game just by not chrono boosting out probes and all that, saturating the gases on his expansion. You see San? He's got 40 probes, so does MC. So he's caught up on the walker count, even though, remember, he was quite far behind.
Yeah.
4 walkers early on should usually translate into an even better lead for someone. But in this case, MC not choosing to be aggressive, even though he had a lot more units.
And I don't think with the supply count still being in MC's favor technically with his army, I'm not sure whether or not this is actually going to be able to break what we're seeing from San if he falls back, holds on to his natural. He only has 1 guy in each gas here though, does San?
Yeah, he pulled Walker.
I think he needs a lot of Zealots.
I think he realizes some kind of timing might be hitting him. Like, he saw this army move out of his opponent, so he's like, since I'm being attacked, I don't need that much gas. Like, screw sentries, they don't do anything in those big fights. Where there's Colossus to break them. Break the force fields, and actually MC has a very, very scary army. 62 army supply to 43.
That 1 Colossus could make a big difference here. Those 3 Immortals at the front are going to try and hold on for San, and the Photon Overcharge did push him away and will buy him a little bit of time, but now he has to be so careful about how he takes this. Positioning 1 Immortal on the high ground is a good choice here, but it will always be spotted by the Colossus.
I think MC gets additional Zealots and then goes for it here, possibly, but since he's getting Thermal Lens, actually he has Thermal Lens about to finish. He might just poke with his single Colossus.
And he realizes that one's there. Oh, and he traps it in with the force field. Really nice move there by MC. Just barely out of the range of that photon overcharge.
Great concave setup here by San, but there is just so many zealots for MC that I think that if he went for it, this attack would still work. 74 army supply right now against 51.
Yeah.
We are going to have another photon overcharge ready for San.
Really
but I don't think MC is going to care at this point.
Positional zealots at the front. Another photon overcharge does activate, and he pulls back for a second. He's just waiting for that second Colossus to come along, and then when it does...
Yeah, maybe for the second photon overcharge to...
Yeah, where is it?
To disappear. I really think that it will work if he went for the attack anyway. Now he's letting San catch up on the Colossus counts. San's going to get thermal lens himself. He's going to have +1, so a little bit surprised by MC's decision here. Photon overcharge, man. It's a lot scarier than it actually should be sometimes. It really feels like.
Yeah.
Like I really thought MC was going to engage now, and then suddenly he sees the photon overcharge. He's like, all right, I'll be right back, and then he leaves. I would say... From when you have 50 army supply or more, photon overcharge is a lot less relevant in those fights.
Yeah,
in very small fights, it helps a lot, but
yeah, it's just not dishing out enough damage to really make the big difference that you need in those bigger fights. But now MC's taking a base behind this. He could continue to contain his opponent, taking that base behind it whilst denying his opponent from taking that third base. He's adding on Templar Archives as well, so there's big transitions coming out here. +1 finishes for both players at such a close time. Oh, time warp. Doesn't catch the very end of those Colossi. Actually hallucinates one in this battle, but they're taking a lot of damage here. San is in a lot of trouble. 76 army supply against 51, and no photon overcharge to help this out at all. It's all going to be on the time warps, but the Colossi here for San are dying, which means that in the end, it looks like MC is going to take a very significant supply advantage as they just get backed up onto the wall. The Immortals trying to focus down as well. Good focus fire from MC. Takes those out. GG. Game number 1 goes to the boss toss.
And MC had a little bit too much of everything here, and he had a really nice mix, I have to say. He had a whole bunch of Zealots, but not too many of them. Like, if you get only Zealots and then like 2 Stalkers and 2 Colossus behind, it's quite counterproductive. He had a good amount of Zealots, a good amount of Stalkers behind this, more than you usually would go for if you go for a Death Ball. MC, he wanted to go for a timing, he let that double photon overcharge expire before he went for the attack, and yeah, he just had a too good mix and too good engagement to be able to throw this away. And behind this, you know, he wasn't even all in. He was getting charged, he was getting a Templar Archives, he was getting a third base, so he had everything going for him in his
It really shows how far ahead he was when it came to the assault really failing there for San. And San, they're getting a little bit of maybe coaching from Stardust. They've been in the same house for a while. San was actually in the My Insanity house for a week or two after Asus ROG, and well...
what do you think Stardust saying? It's a trap question.
It's a trap.
He's telling him, hey, didn't you see my games with MC? I showed you how it's done. Why can't you do it?
I don't know, man. San, he was able to play so well in PvP in the past, the previous tournaments, and now MC's like, what is this? This isn't water. Plays for it down.
This is not a drink for the boss, nor president. Go away.
Well, he's one game up.
Who brought this drink?
I'm not sure who brought it, actually.
You will be severely punished.
He shall be. Boss toss, man. He takes no prisoners. All right. Polar Knight is our map as we get into game number 2. MC currently 1 game up. San looking a little bit shaky. He's coming off the back of a tournament win, and if he goes out in the open bracket in his next one, that's a little bit of sadness there for him. But it's MC. I mean... He doesn't really lose that many games, let's be honest. Yeah,
been doing really well recently. And Polar Knight, one of the maps that we've seen very often in the matchup here. One of the maps that I would say, again, aggressive openers are really good on. And we've seen a lot of 3 gates pressure, a lot of Stargates. Blink occasionally, maybe a little bit less. What do you think MC goes for here? Does he go back to his good old 2 gates into a 3rd gate, big pressure? San tried to trick him here, so that's gonna have something we need to keep in mind going into the next game, because MC knows about it, San knows about it, they both know the results, and this could affect their choice. Yeah. So looking at their choice, we're gonna have to think and try to piece this together to see exactly how they came to the conclusions that they came to, and it's gonna be interesting to do, I think, on Polar Knight.
I think with MC 1 game up now, we could see some 3-gate aggression from him. I mean, he executes it so well, and his control's fantastic.
How about the proxy?
No, wait. I'm gonna go with no. I don't think
you know
he would.
San has not been scouting for proxies, though. If MC picked up on that, especially watching his games, and he goes for one, this might be a little bit of a nightmare here for Sen.
Certainly could be. Well, let's get into game number 2 now and find out what is going to be the build of choice here for MC as well as San. So we now load up onto Polar Knight for game number 2. This could be our last PvP for a little while. All depends on how it goes. Spawning up to the northern position as our red Protoss. Representing Yo Flash Wolves, it's San. Just correcting his hair there for a second. Needs to look good for the camera. And down to the south, we have our blue Protoss. Presenting eSports Management Group, it is MC. Is that what you've been thinking every single time this music comes on?
It's not always the same music, but it's what I thought of for now.
Like you start doing it and it slowly builds up and the choir joins in. It's like, whoa, this is getting intense.
MC. He's the Bastos. He should have his own song.
Yeah, he really should. Dude, this is what I want. I want WWE-like entrances with capes and songs and everything. This is what esports needs. I would be so happy. All right.
Gateway 13 from both players, so no Gateway 10 attempts in this game. This is a two-players map, so again, with MC scouting in the previous game and spotting exactly what he was up against, he was really able to defend it a lot better than otherwise. And San, definitely not the guy to try something like this twice. It failed once, he learned from the lesson, gonna be playing a lot more standard from here, I think. Actually, MC going for a scout. Or is he only scouting for proxies? Is he gonna hide the pylon?
No.
Is he gonna throw down the Nexus? No.
No.
No, he's not.
None of these options, Todd. Well, right now the two gases behind all this for both players as they now head out with that probe. And as you said, though, San isn't really being too active about scouting out for a proxy. He's going to go down to his natural now and have a look around, which is important. But right now, nothing's going on. So in terms of proxy, so he's okay.
Two passing ships in the night. Is that what we just saw? Similar timings on the cybernetics core, and yeah, we can't really know exactly what they want to open with right now, but they did. MC did do 3+3 earlier than his opponent. And San, I have to say, he kind of scares me with his building placement. In the previous game, he placed his gateway and pylon in a way that everything that was coming out of the gateway had to go all the way around the mineral line to come out. And now again, he plays this a little bit weirdly.
Yeah.
So with the double gateways here, definitely going to be getting a few stalkers out. Maybe a sentry first. No, still going to be a stalker.
I kind of like the idea of having all your buildings behind the mineral line, so you have a bit more room to micro if your opponent finds himself in there. So it's nice.
The worst is versus Terran. Like if you put them between your ramp and your main nexus, which I always do, and then you get dropped in the back of your main, your units are it's like the opposite. You know, they are blocked on the other side. It's
you
like,
make a labyrinth for yourself. It's like, oh, it's going to take a while.
Okay, MC is going to go for a Twilight, and so is San. So San, even though he made a second gateway, since he was scouted, maybe that's why, he chose not to use his second gateway, basically. He just made the Mothership Core, which is actually going to be aggressive and scout with. That's very interesting what we've seen here already.
So in terms of San's position, do we see Blink, and then would MC here be going for Blink as well, or is it going to be Dark Shrine, do you think?
I think either is possible, are possible here. I don't really see any hints. Maybe MC is more inclined to do Dark Shrine here, just because he made
2 gateways.
Yeah.
I think now we have Blink versus Blink.
Yeah. I guess since he was on one gate, I really thought this was going to be like maybe one more gate than the Nexus, but yeah, throwing down double gateway definitely means he's going to be Blink. And man, I see those PvPs, all those PvPs you've casted, you should go play some PvP on ladder, man, because you're going to be a beast.
I told you, man, I'm enjoying PvP a lot more now on ladder. I tweeted out a few days ago, I'm really enjoying it, because the intricacies of it are becoming more and more apparent to me as I cast only PvP. So, and noticeably only with you, so you explain everything and it's all good. So yeah, I'm enjoying PvP, man. Yeah. It's nice.
Good analysis, man.
Oh, thank you.
Recognize it. Wargate's going to finish about the same time, and actually, I was just talking about this with Mana, because we both used to place our Robo in very bad positions, and they got sniped very often. And look at that Robo. He's facing Blink.
Yeah.
Imagine San gets a lot more Stalkers than MC.
Blink's
and actually,
in.
San, he's kind of gambling here. He did get the scout in his opponent's main. He thought there was no Dark Shrine, but there could be, say, for example, a Dark Shrine hidden on the map. We've seen this before. San is basically counting on the fact that there might not be one right now. So even though he gets the late Robo, I think I guess a quick dash run, he will be in
I want to come back to something you just mentioned there with the Robo. You're saying it's pretty vulnerable there if it was to occur. Where would you place it? Maybe a little bit further behind the mineral line?
Yes,
Yeah?
definitely.
All right, well, it's important to note here.
San did the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
He did the exact same thing. It's like the exact same placement on...
I mean, technically speaking, it's a good location to reinforce with Immortals, but if it goes down, then you can't make Immortals, and that's not very good.
The thing is, if you go Blink, you don't really expect your opponent to be able to blink up your ramp and then snipe your Robo. This is also why it's a little bit less important now.
And it's a smaller main on this map, which it does allow for more defensive setups, whereas on a map like Heavy Rain, for example, you'd really have to be careful where you were throwing it down.
Nonetheless, I really think like you should be careful, generally speaking, with this stuff, because things can go wrong very quickly. Both me and Mana know about this.
Ooh, have a look around. Sometimes I never take what Mana says seriously because it's one of the biggest trolls ever, but...
No, but actually, no, it's funny because I think it was at Home Story Cup. I was telling him how like every Protoss places their Robo very poorly and then getting sniped. And then he looked at me like really sad and he was like, I actually lost to Socket twice after putting my Robo in a weird position. And then I just had like one of those moments where I couldn't stop laughing just thinking about it. He was really sad.
Oh well. Well, for now, we're going to see him clean up that pylon and try and drop his Nexus, and this is going to be pretty much the kind of stalemate scenario that would leave each other available to go for expansions. But San is moving out across the map. If he's going to go for this committal to aggression, then MC's going to have similar amounts of units, as well as an Immortal to defend, so he has to be careful about his control.
He wants that Robo, man.
Yeah, well, did he spot it there? Actually, the positioning on it? I'm curious. He sees the Nexus going down. He doesn't see the Robo, but... Oh,
no
he
cancel.
didn't cancel.
He didn't have time here. As, with 2 volleys, the Stalkers were able to kill it. Oh, MC, does he blink forward? No, he knows better. There's too many Stalkers. Oh, as I say that.
Oh, he actually goes for it, and the defensive blink is going to be on the side here of San.
Oh, this is bad for MC.
That Immortal was in the wrong position at the wrong time. This is a great opportunity for San to capitalize. He got the no cancellation on a Nexus. He is able to now power on forwards. He knows how much of an advantage he has because of that offensive blink from MC.
I really thought MC knew better, but apparently he didn't. And San's gonna get in there, and that Robo might fall.
Defensive blink still on the side there of San. He will pull on back. There is an offensive pylon on the other side for MC to maybe warp in some Zealots, but he absolutely has to concentrate on this defense because of how many Stalkers he lost there.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a sentry here made by San. Then again, he already has Blink. He knows his opponent has Blink. It's probably better to just get pure Stalkers. Make sure he has as many as his opponent while he expands. And okay, bad idea. don't go out there.
Yeah, at least San...
Don't go full Todd.
At least MC even knows that, you know, that his opponent's positioning with that observer on the outside. So he can at least keep an eye on that, and he sees the expansion. So tough spot here for MC.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he warps in a few Zealots across the map, at least one. But there is the Mothership Core back at home for San, ready to defend. He's planned for everything. And quite the mass of Stalkers here by San. If he was to blink in the main, by the way, the army of MC is quite far out of position.
He's going to go for the assault once again here. Good blink control from both players as they don't really lose anything on either side.
Blink in the main. I just want to see it one time.
The Robo goes down. You're like, all my predictions were true. But he's going to go for the Immortal once again here. Once again, good blink control from both players. The Immortal will fall. Immortals can't blink. Don't know if you know that, guys. But anyway, San still going for the trades. And army supply 42 to 37. Second Immortal will shoot this.
Very important number. 18 Stalkers against 11 only right now. That Immortal is really helping. But is he doing enough?
Whoa,
no.
He actually blinked forwards with some of those, and he does kill it off in the end. How many Stalkers do we have? 12 to 11. It's very, very close here. San with the army supply.
Wow.
So close.
MC, he really caught up on the Stalker count here. For a moment, it was like 13 to 20. And now, it's 9 for MC and 7 for San. So MC could actually counterattack.
He overstayed his welcome.
Yeah.
I mean,
he blinked forward. That's the big problem.
Yeah, that was a little bit scary for him. Yes, he got the Immortal, but in the end, I mean, he really paid for it with quite a few Stalkers. So unit counts right now, we have 9 Stalkers against 8 in favor of Mr. MC, but he doesn't have an expansion still, Todd.
Yeah, and also he's behind on walkers. He has to remake his Mothership Core. I'm surprised that MC doesn't go all in. He already has a pylon across the map. He should know that he has more Stalkers. And it looks like he wants to go for an Nexus. I think this is a mistake here. I mean, even though I've said this before and MC still won the game, I really think like this is not a game where he should try and come back with a Nexus.
I think it was always going to be hard for MC to break, right, though? Because San now knows that if his opponent doesn't expand, all he has to do is build Immortals, and then he's going to be pretty stable. It's going to be This is going to be a hard recovery here for MC, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, it looks like that Observer might die of San right around the expansion of opponents. At least he saw the Nexus, so he knows right now. He's actually moving across the map. When you have a better saturation than your opponent, we can look at the income. This is actually significant. San has around 1,000 against 760, so this is... He can get a lot more units. And also, one very important thing to note, San is on 4 gateways. MC is on 3. If he waits until the moment that Nexus finishes, or even just a little bit before, he's going to have way more than his opponent. Look, the army supply already 51 to 39.
I must admit, I mean, after having that little bit of a income lead here, it's a pretty cool move out because he's always going to have a few more units, especially since he has the extra gateway. So this is interesting here by San. The 2 Immortals provide so much extra firepower, and it's 2 Immortals against 1 for the defender here of that is MC. He has the Photon Overcharge available to him, which will push this way, and actually he gets the Mothership Core. It did have full energy, so no Time Warps available, despite it already being there. Blinks forward, kills off 1 Immortal. Second one will end up falling. There's 2 Immortals here for San. Really needs to start focusing down those Stalkers. It wasn't the most amazing position for an engagement there for San, and this might have equalized things up.
And the Guardian Shield here was very, very important. MC should be careful not to overextend, but he's very tempted to chase. I guess he was in the area of the Photon Overcharge that made him confident, but I think San's just going to wait for this to expire and end the game.
I mean, every single Chronobus here for MC has to be focused on that Robo facility so that he can get extra Immortals out. It's still in favor, army supply-wise, for San, who's looking to pressure onto this Nexus, realizing he always had that income advantage anyway, so why not go for the Assault as he continues it on Blink versus Blink, and then really nice force wheel actually pushes that Immortal to the front here. If any engagement was going to happen for MC, it was going to be this one in terms of his favor, but even that does not work out. 38 army supply to 15 as MC is actually just crumbling. GG.
MC misread this completely here at the end. He was actually ahead on walkers, and he was still making walkers. I think he thought that San, this was just a light pressure by him and he would pull back, but there was nothing light about this pressure, man. That was a heavy pressure, aka timing or an all-in up to some extent.
I mean, I've got to commend MC for grabbing that Mothership Core and denying the Time Warps from actually landing, but even with that snipe out, it still didn't work. So MC was up against the wall there, unfortunately for him, and San ties it up. I wouldn't have expected anything other than a game number 3, actually, from these guys. Looking at these PvPs, so on form, both of them. It's such a shame we lose one of them in this tournament.
And that was a pretty cool tweet here at the end. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the blinkest of them all?
I didn't see that. I was a little
To
bit
which, I'm sure if MC had read it, he would have answered, bitch, please. Even though he lost that game.
He answers a lot of questions like that, let's be fair.
Imagine MC goes like to a TV show where it's like, you have like a few options as far as answers go. He will go with his own answer a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And you can't disqualify him, he's the president.
He's like, nobody like outside of esports like knows him. He's just like, I'm the boss toss, and then he gets like dragged off screen and is like flailing his arms around. That's MC in a nutshell. But anyway, for now, it's 1-1 apiece here. Mr. MC certainly doesn't want to walk away from this tournament in the open bracket. We've called him a Kong before after taking so many second places. This is going to be a little bit difficult. So, San showing some fantastic PvP so far, as does MC always. We've been really treated to some fantastic PvP throughout the past couple of weeks. Now, it all comes down to this for these two players.
It was interesting how San went for the 4 gateways on one base and basically just made a ton of Stalkers. He made the Robo a little bit late, and yeah, he didn't really feel like he wanted to commit to anything else, like not to economy. He only wanted to commit to try and do some damage, and in the end he was able to do some damage, mostly because of MC misreading the situation. I cannot stress enough, the one chase that MC went for on the left-hand side basically put him so far behind. Losing those 2 Immortals, you can only defend against them. You cannot get overconfident and move across the map. You cannot chase down your opponent because you're going to find yourself in a position where he can warp in and crush you.
Alrighty, well, game number 3 now between San and MC as we determine who will advance onto the group stage. We already know Stardust does, but spawning up to the top left as our red Protoss once again, representing Yo Flash Wolves, it is San. And up to the right. Down to the right even, as our blue Protoss representing esports management, it is MC. I think we should give a special shout out to Harston.
Oh, but, yeah. The music here was what was making me laugh.
Oh.
His name is the Buster. Somebody should make a song like this.
Theme tunes! Theme tunes!
Tempo, if you're watching, you know what to do. Make a song
yes.
about the boss toss next.
Alright.
He deserves it.
Does, man. He's the most winningest player. 400,000 million euros.
The most winningest?
Most winningest. It's terrible, terrible. No. But we're going to stick with it. I think someone said it ages and ages ago, and ever since then we've just utilized it. But anyway, Daedalus Point.
I knew the day where I teach you English on stream would come.
Yeah, it's a sad day.
A single gas here for MC. Let's see. Okay, now still gonna go for the second one. So similar openers, and actually both of them scouting for proxies, but San only for in-base one. He's asking for it, man.
He's asking for it.
I cannot wait to meet him in a tournament.
Yeah, you're gonna go straight for it. I mean, you've been liking your proxies recently.
Yeah, after I'm done with this guy, he's gonna scout every single game for proxies.
It's like you go for the proxy anyway, and then defense, you're like, oh man, come on.
There is no justice.
No.
MC looks like he's gonna scout anyway. I'm a little bit surprised. Usually, like if you scout for proxies like this, you already lost a little bit of money, but he does not care. He wants to know exactly what he's up against, and I agree with that. Man, San, he's scaring me. What is this alarm we're hearing?
Dude, have you
Is
not...
that the ramp?
Yeah, they're all over the place. Have you not played this map? I'm pretty sure
I
you
veto
played...
it, man.
You veto this map?
Yeah.
Really?
It's too hard against Zerg.
I'm not
And
allowed
if you
to
play
veto.
ladder, it's the only map. It's the only race you will get it. And look, man, it's ringing again.
Dude,
Relax.
they're all over, honestly. Like...
Red alerts. Red alert. Boss toss detected. San, by the way, has to be careful with his gateway here. He could get some unit stuck.
Once
It looks
again.
like he's gonna put some good rally points to make sure that does not happen. And going for his sentry first, so he's gonna have a quick scout to work with, whereas MC is going for the boss unit first. A stalker, probably his favorite unit.
Yeah.
What do you think? Oh, maybe the sentry, because MC has won quite a few dollars with all the sentries he's made in force fields in
That's
his career.
true. I think he likes Stalkers, though. I think I'm going to go with Stalkers. He does like Blink. He gets Blink in every matchup across the board and always gets it in almost every game he can. And then he goes for Stargate, so why not?
There goes that PvP analysis.
Yeah. But
And
anyway.
Sam looks like he wants to go for an expansion, which on this map really surprises me. The natural is very, very far away from the main. Blink is very good on the map because of all the space you get to try and basically go for a blink. On. There's no better way to put it. Man, somebody makes this alarm stop. I keep hearing it.
Dude, no, unfortunately, it's here to stay.
And it's a very quick Twilight behind his Sand. We've already seen him use this build. I didn't think it was that great.
Spotted it.
I think if you go for an expand like this, it's definitely better to go for something like either a Robo or a Stargate. The thing is, Robo is a lot less viable than before because it's only good against Twilight, and a lot of the time people will go for Stargate or something like that. And even versus Blink, it's not that great. So in this case, second gateway being added on, and let's see how much MC decides to commit to this. 2 additional gateways. So I think upon seeing this expansion, he's gonna want to force a photon overcharge with the Oracle, and then wherever there is no photon overcharge, if it's in the natural, he's gonna bust it with his units. If it's in the main that there is no photon overcharge, he's gonna use his Oracle to keep some Stalkers hostage there.
Depends on the timing, though. We're going to have 2 gateways finish up here for San, and maybe eventually he will have Blink, but it's not going to come all too quickly, as now MC is piling on the pressure. 2 Stalkers as well as that Mothership Core, laying waste to this natural, and he does let it finish, so that Oracle's going to keep him busy in the main whilst these 2 Stalkers are pressuring.
Actually the alarm does not ring for an Oracle. It's now or never, are you kidding me? This guy's dangerous.
He has a few units positioned, and he will pull away for a second there.
Yeah, so okay, the photon overcharge used on the expansion, and MC is just gonna wait for this to expire, and then he's gonna get right in there.
I really like the option, though, to just wait, and throw that down on the natural as opposed to the main to push away the Oracle, because that would have really, really pulled him back. What is that? Is that an Infestor?
I think it was 650.
That's an Infestor. Why the poor little guy? He's like trapped.
Why do you care? You doing a collection or something?
Dude, he's having a bubble bath.
Alright, the Oracles here are not going to be able to do anything, but remember, 650, or around that time, the photon overcharge was used. So 750 MC is going to get in there and basically wreck this expansion, as in kill it, and from there, he can just take his own expansion and be in a good position, but San's gonna have Blink very, very soon. But his Stalker count is not very high just yet.
This could be a bit treacherous here for San. He has to be careful. This is a great army that MC actually has built up. I think this natural actually just dies. I don't think there's going to be too much of a way to save it, especially if he throws down that time warp. Blinks out. Yeah. Absolutely has to. But now that does a lot more damage here to the Nexus. It guarantees its death.
Yeah, and MC actually, he went for a Twilight behind this. He could have gone for a Dark Shrine, which in this case would have been good because there is no Robo. But he went for the Blink. He's going to save all of his units. He's not going to make sure he doesn't fight too early. He knows that there is Blink. And MC is doing a great job right now of not pulling back, losing everything, nor getting in there too early and losing everything as well.
The standard.
He wants to get out though.
There's the standard one Zealot counter-attack that's heading across the map there, and he recalls back.
Oh, I like this choice, because if he completes Blink, he's going to be on equal grounds as far as fighting capability with that micro goes.
That's a really good point. So now, I mean, San here, he does see the Twilight Council, so he knows it's there with that one Zealot, but at the same time, he has so much to consider. He has to deal with the Oracles, slightly supply blocked, and he won't get out of that, but...
He left the Mothership Core and 2 sentries back at home to deal with this, and
at least he has the energy.
He wants to put on more pressure in the meantime.
Well, here come the Oracles.
I was wondering if MC would sack his Oracles to get as many probe kills as he can, but...
I mean, technically he could have, because Photon Overcharge as well,
yeah,
but sentries don't do
keeping
too much.
them for later, I guess he knows that there's not going to be a third Photon Overcharge here.
Always being a threat is good, I think, more so than not, but now he's just being slightly contained outside this position. Blink finishes up, though, for MC, and that will deny and dispel any kind of contain. As starts to blink back here. Ooh, San has to be careful. MC Stalker count's very good.
Yeah, MC had just gained a slight Stalker lead, but now San caught up. San is still ahead on Walkers. MC has been cutting pro production quite heavily here.
Oracles.
So if San defends well against these Oracles and then just re-expands from there, knowing that MC doesn't have an expand yet, I think he's going to do great.
Trying to intercept that last Oracle actually heading on out, but doesn't get it in the end.
Oh, and this is great. San has a hidden probe out on the map. So even though MC right now, he saw his opponent pull back and he has the Oracles to scout his opponent's expansion, San has the same thing. He has a probe hidden.
That was perfect timing for him to actually spot that as well. So good. And the Oracles try and catch... Oh, dear me, he loses one of them. He was trying to catch that probe, he throw it through down the Nexus, but didn't in the end.
This game reminds me so much of Hero vs MC. Such high-level PvP, constant scouting, adaptation, upon scouting what he's up against, and this is exactly what we're seeing here again.
Yeah, we get treated to a lot of good PvP, you and I, Todd, but now we're going to have to see what he's going to spot. He gets in with the Hallucinated Phoenix. Both armies are moving out into the middle of the map, and he has to pull back because that Oracle's still a pest.
MC is investing very heavily. You see the Walker supply, he's few Walkers behind, and most of all, very important, he has no Robo. He just chrono boosted all his 3 gateways, he just ended. So he's looking to basically get a nice Stalker lead and possibly get a lead by killing his opponent's expansion or winning the game here.
Yeah, he has a 1 Stalker advantage in this if he brings the Zealots along as well, but the Guardian Shield's going to soak up quite a bit of this damage.
This changes everything, and in this case, actually, I'm surprised San was scared to fight. He had the Guardian Shield here for some time. He has another one, but the Sentry's gonna die. He
focused down the Sentry that had the Guardian Shield there. He does it again, so he's being able to deny a lot of the dispelling of this damage as he continuously blinks on and on and on. Army supply slightly in favor of Mr. Jiang Win Chul as we have 20 Stalkers to 18 in favor of the boss toss.
And behind this, MC's his expansion finished. He can just pull back at this point and slow down and basically just get a Robo and play it safe. But his MC, is he gonna pull back or is he gonna press forward?
I think with the expansion down, there's no real need
I actually
to
thought for a
continue
second that he wasn't going to care. He was just going to keep on pressing forward. He's remaking his Mothership Core now.
Pylon's just out of range.
Yeah, this is going to be seen.
To see it, yeah.
Boss toss, man.
Yeah, Boss toss keeps an eye on things, and now supply counts are so even. These expansions, we're at the 13-minute mark, and only just now has the first expansion been able to get up and running because of how aggressive both of these guys have been in their posture. This is really difficult. Is San actually going to go for this?
PvP, not all about dividing and conquering, more about blinking and expanding.
Seemingly so. Seemingly so. We have 26 Stalkers against 24, but the Mothership Core is still active here for MC, whereas San does not have one. So where is the Mothership Core actually?
Actually, 27. It's so funny. The Stalker counts is what we should focus a lot on.
Yeah.
They have 2 Stalkers difference at all times, so it's really going to come down a lot to the Concave and the Blink Stalker Micro, and at this, I think MC might have the lead here. He has a better Concave. If he manages to blink really well just after losing the shields, he's going to do well.
10 seconds off that photon overcharge here, as well as he pushing him back anyway with the Stalkers. So he doesn't even need that. He's going to have the income advantage quite catastrophically here, unless San can find a room. And that room is in the form of blinking into the main with just a small portion of this army.
Yeah. MC needs to match the Stalker count, but look, this was...
Oh, he blinks everything in!
Yeah.
This could be really, really bad for San here, as he doesn't have defensive blink, so he's going to take a lot of fire shots here from this army. As they blink in offensively as well, that might give them the opportunity to blink out defensively, but at the same time, a huge supply advantage and Stalker advantage here for MC, as he just micros on forwards. That's going to do it. GG, MC takes the series, and San is eliminated from the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne.
MC, he had a sigh of relief here as it came down to the last game.
Yeah.
And this was very, very close. They were always only 2 or 3 Stalkers apart from each other, and in the end, San's decision to go up the ramp, he tried to trick his opponent into thinking there was just a few Stalkers there, against which if MC had sent only 5 Stalkers and the entire army of San blinked in there and sniped 5 Stalkers, remember, this is the difference that they... even more than the difference that they were on at the time. He could have gained a nice lead and won the game, but MC's defense was too good. The Blink Stalkers are what he's best at, and it proved true once again.
Very, very well played. Both of these players, a very high-level PvP, but in the end, MC is victorious. And now he moves on to group stages tomorrow or the day after, depending on which group he gets placed in. And that means we have Stardust and MC from our first bracket. And that does it from our first bracket, actually. So, good results all around. MC and Stardust advancing on. But now, our second bracket... 2 Protoss. But our second bracket, maybe we won't see that, because we have some super strong Zerg powerhouses there.
We will.
Oh, but we will.
No, I'm just kidding.
You're very hopeful there, Todd, for your raise. But now, yeah. So, our second bracket will start very soon, I should think, after a few... more things here from the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. But what a series of games we have in store, as well as we've already had.
And Linok versus Soccer. So we're going to start the second bracket with a bang. I believe Rhett, the man, the legend, going to be casting this. Looking forward to hearing his cast, because earlier I couldn't.
I couldn't either.
Cool.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to that in just a little bit. So guys, that does it from me here at the casting desk. Let's send it over to Paul, and then after, more StarCraft action.
Indeed, more StarCraft action, Kalaris. Absolutely right, because we have the open bracket 2 almost ready to rock and roll. But before we get to that, let's just wrap up open bracket 1. If you haven't been with us all day, where the hell have you been, frankly? But we're not going to blame you for it, because you've still got tons of StarCraft to watch. But let's just recap on the results from the open bracket 1. As you can see at the top of the screen on the upper bracket, Stardust taking down MC in the final to advance to the round of 16. And then MC coming back again in the lower bracket, defeating San 2-1 in the end in the lower bracket final, and he will also take his place in the round of 16 tomorrow. We'll also have the draw a little bit later on, which will be done in the background, and we'll make sure that at the end of the day, you know the full lineup for tomorrow's Group A and Group B, and C and D coming on Saturday, quarterfinals on Sunday, along with the semis and the grand final. Don't forget, there's a lot up for grabs this weekend, not just the last regular stop of the Season 8 tour, but also the final 2 spots available to go to the World Championship as far as the qualifiers are concerned. Still got the open bracket at Katowice, of course. And not only that, $25,000 on the line as well. Can MC win his second IEM? He's already had 3 finals. He's now at least in the round of 16. That's it from open bracket 1, though. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll kick things off with open bracket 2. Don't go too far away, especially if you're a Zerg fan.
on my grind. You know how I do.